Hello guys, Wahoo here and with another video, this time in Diablo Season 7 where I'm showing off the Demon Hunter and its set. First set you get in the season reward in the season journey. You get the Unhallowed set, which is the Multishot set. And first of all I'm just going to show you off this character and what the progress I've done in those few hours I've been playing the new season, and then I'm gonna jump to an old character that shows you the whole build because it's not really finished. This character, because I'm of course going for this full set, but I'm also going for a different set that I'm gonna show in a different video that has a completely different build. But first of all, I'm just gonna show you in a Torment 10 normal rift. Like how much damage I could do in the short amount of time that I have actually been playing, and I'll show you the time right after this. So I'm gonna find you a pack and show you guys, and of course a little legendary for me there. I don't have everything, and I'm gonna show you. Here's the pack, and we put all our things. And as you can see, this is Torment 10 and I'm pretty much wrecking it. There's the boss, we done it, and we actually got another legendary, which is really super awesome. A little bit of lag, of course. Pick up our globe, and it's just gonna go tumble back so I can show you how much time I've actually been doing this season until I got this strong. I know there's a lot of people who've been super more strong. I'm just gonna show you guys how little it takes to actually get here. And I'm gonna go to my profile, and I'm gonna go to my heroes, and this is my season. As you can see, this is my season character, and as you can see, I played 11 hours and 6 minutes. So keep that in mind, and I'm only Paragon 184. So not too high of Paragon either, because I haven't played very much. But this is actually my gear. So I got the whole set from, of course, the season journey. I was lucky enough to get ancient boots. But fairly, the other things are not very great. So, like the helmet, for example, has like the dexterity, of course, but I rolled the crit on it. But it has the life on hit. I'd rather have some life or anything pretty much than life than hit. Everything else is pretty much this. I rolled a few of these Hellfire rings, amulets. Part of the season journey is that you have to find the key wardens, and I actually got those, and I got this. I got ambush, which is one of the skills that you have to use, but I can now use awareness instead. I have the braces, which are really okay with the 6% crit. I was lucky enough to get a Deadman's Legacy, which you need. You need a Deadman Legacy because of the multi-shot damage. You can see it's 83%. Also, when you hit enemies that are below 59 health percentage, it hits twice, which is really cool. That's a must in this. Also, this is very nice, the Yanks, because of two reasons. The one is that your multi-shot is 50% faster, but or attacks 50% faster, but also the 50%, you can see the 50% reduction cost. That means that I can shoot this, almost shoot this like almost endlessly. Well, I can't, of course, but if I didn't have this on, I could probably have shot this. Let's see what it actually costs. 25 hatreds. I could shoot this 4 times. I can probably, and of course, 50% reduction. That means I can shoot it twice as many times. Before I have to use a generator to get up my regen again. So these are really required. Of course, the set is also required because what it does is that Multishot does 40% increase for every point of discipline you have. So discipline is the 2 resources you have as a demon hunter. You have hatred, that's your spender of like your spender and also your gainer. And the discipline over here is kind of what you use for your utility spells. Like, for example, I have a tumble where I tumble around, and you can see I'm using the blue stuff now. and that's of course regens also. The 50% reduction reduced cost also affects everything else here. It's only this that costs 8 discipline. This is my wolf that increases my damage and so on. I'm gonna go over the skills in a moment. I'm just gonna finish up the gear here that I already have, and these rings are not anything you really need. But I'm gonna, like I said, show you on a different character that is completely done. In the cube, I have 2 items that are that is needed for the things. I still need a dawn, which I'm gonna show you on this character, because this is then you can see the full build. The other this character that I'm playing right now, if I complete the other thing that I want to do, it's the knives build, then I will do that, and I don't want to continue on this set because I already have a good set on this. So this is my old character that I did in the past, and as you can see, I do have this Yanks on this one, a little bit better of course. I have the full set of gear, and with of course white gem in the helmet, green gems in the rest, and a Deadman Legacy and whatever I talked about. This one I have awareness, so this one I actually use the ambush instead. So a little bit different. Of course the wraps that I talked about before. This one is the Hunter's Wrap. You either want Hunter's Wrap or a Gold Wrap. Oh, this is not a gold wrap. Hunter's Wrath, that's what it's called. But a gold wrap, or the last thing is the best one, is a witching hour. So if you've got a witching hour, that's the best one because that gives the most damage. And most importantly, the one that makes even like more damage is that you have a focus and restraint. And what it does is that when you use this one, it gives you damage. And when you use this one, it also gives you damage. So it's you have to use this, and then you kind of switch them up like so. And that gives you the damage that you need for that 50% extra damage of each of them, which is really, really cool. So what I use for gems in my rings and in my helmet, I use the Stone of Vengeance, I use the Bane of the Trapped, and I use Bane of the Powerful. I level these. A really good suggestion if you're doing a new season is to level these gems to 25. Well, if you're starting out with one, level that to 25. Start on a new one, level that to 25, and then get the next one to 25. So you'll at least have them all at 25 before you do anything else, because that is where it gets the second bonus on the gem, and then that is where it is the most powerful. 25 is the most powerful rank you can have if you're not counting if you can get it to 100, of course. I'm just saying that is where it gets its secondary ability. Of course, if you get it to like this is 27, of course it's a little bit better than it was on 25, but it gives higher what's it called? It's get the better power spike. Okay, so that was kind of the gear. I want to go over the skills now. I use Evasive Fire with the focus on it because what it does is that it generates more hatred, so I have to use it less. That's kind of why it's really good. Of course, I use the Multishot with the Arsenal because it shoots out the rockets, which does amazing damage with the ballistas that increases the damage of those rockets with 100%. Also with that shoots out even more rockets with the 20% chance. I use a Vault with Tumble because then my next one costs 50% less, so I can tumble more. You can use kind of what you want on this. This doesn't really, there's not really any of these you really you need, but Tumble is a good thing. You use Companion with the Wolf, so when you use it, you gain how say it's 150%. I don't only 15% increased damage when you use it. And when you're stacking a lot of cooldown reduction on this build. Which just makes this be up more times. That's what I'm saying. That was my point. You use Vengeance with the Seath. I think that's Seath rune, because then you get 10 hatred per second. So you can. I'm gonna explain this a little bit more when I go to the cube in a minute. But why this is very good per second and why not all these other ones. The last thing is that I use preparation with the first rune, and that increases my maximum discipline by 20. So if I don't have this on, I have 60 now. So if I go to this one instead, I only have 40. And as we saw before on the set, is that the sixth hit bonus is that for every discipline I get 40% increased damage. So 40% increased damage. Cool. So that's of course why I have that one there. The last thing is that I use Thrill the Hunt because with my spenders, that's the multi-shot hits. It slows enemies by 80%, which makes it more survivability, but also it pairs up with the Culling of the Weak. When I slow them, I also do 20% more damage to them. So it's kind of a, when they're slowed first, then they do 20 more the other time, the next time. The last two ones is of course the ambush. When they are above 75%, I do 40% more damage. So this is why it's really cool with this set, because that you kind of hit them with this that doesn't put them on a 75%, and then you can kind of hit them with this, and then they kind of just evaporate on the rest. Last thing is the ballista. I showed that. I told about the rocket damage. So next thing is that I'm gonna show you guys, or tell you guys a little about the Paragon points that I use. The first core, I've spent of course everything 25% to get maximum movement speed. You want to get 25 movement speed if you don't have movement speed on your boots. You shouldn't have. If you can avoid it, then you should have them from the Paragon points. And the rest you just put of course in dexterity. I do have a lot of Paragon points on this, and you probably don't have that on your character. But starting on in a season, you just of course put in Paragon points in your movement speed and then rest in the dexterity. Offense, you go for cooldown reduction as the first one. Then you go for either crit hit or crit damage. Because you kind of have to see on your details, these two kind of have to be the same. Just this has to be 10% better, if that makes any sense. So I actually wanted, if this should be better, I need 430% critical hit damage. So I'm missing some critical hit damage. You kind of want these to be equal. And of course the last thing is attack speed. The next thing you take for the defense is you put all resist, and then you either put in life or armor. Whatever gives you the most, you just have to look at the toughness. Whatever gives you the most, you go for that one. And of course life regen on the last. Here on the utility, you go for area damage first. Then you go for resource cost reduction. And then of course life on hit, and then gold find is okay. You might go gold find before life on hit on a season, but if you just run, like I have 10 million now after spending a lot on season already, and yeah, you just, if you found one puzzle ring, you're good to go, right? But that's kind of how the utility, defense, offensive, and core stuff is done. And of course the cube. The last thing is the cube, and first of all I'm just going to show you, it's the conversion of elements, because you get the fire damage. Also the cold damage is okay, but you get the fire damage, and when you have fire damage, this one goes all the way around and is fire like it is now. Now it does them like 200% increased damage, this one. Of course you can't time it, you just have to go, but it's nice when you hit that. It goes fairly quick. You can see now it's a cold, and next time it's gonna be fire again. So these two things is now what I'm gonna talk about with the vengeance. This helmet gives you the effect of dark rune. So what is dark rune in your vengeance? Dark rune is that when your vengeance is up, you take 50% less damage. Okay, so that's cool. That's a 50% damage reduction right there. That's cool. But why is that cool when you have like a 90-second cooldown on it? It's because you're using this one, which is Dawn, and Dawn reduces your vengeance by 65%. So this is basically with a little bit of course, with the Paragon points, with the cooldown reduction. Let's see, the cooldown reduction here, 10% here, and oh, I pressed the wrong button. With the 10% there, and with a little bit of like these gloves has cooldown reduction, for example. I'm not sure how much cooldown reduction I got. I got 26%. So I got 26% plus the 65%. Making it at, what was it again? I forgot. 26%. So okay, so that is almost 90%. Almost 90% damage reduction, or a cooldown reduction. Sorry, that means that this is kind of up all the time. You can kind of see it down at the bottom. The little bar above it means that it's up on me now. The thing that turns around here is that is the cooldown reduction on it, and you can see, and I lose it, and then there's like from the corner right here to here. I don't know how much you can see it on the video, but it's fairly up all the time. So I actually almost have a 100% uptime on my vengeance, which means that I have a 50% damage reduction all the time. So that is kind of why you want to use these two with each other. To buff that. Anyways, I think that was about it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a like. Comments below if you have any questions. And I'm so happy you just watched my video. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Alright.